Do you know the Philippine literature before the emergence of Philippine literature in English?
Is that bitch a clock?
Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. Today's content is going to be about Philippine literature before the emergence of Philippine literature in English. This is my first time doing a vlog, so please bear with me and go easy on me. Without further ado, let's begin the discussion. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. So the evolution of Philippine literature depended on the influences of colonization and the spirit of the age. But long before the Spaniards and other outsiders arrived or set foot on the Philippine coast, our ancestors already had their own literature imprinted on the history of our race. As we all know, the Philippines is an archipelagic country consisting of several islands, and each of those islands has their specific cultures and traditions, bearing different sets of native literature. I find this particular idea exciting. Of course, as an English major student, I would really want to get a glimpse of what they call indigenous Philippine literature during the pre-colonial period. There were two literary forms during the pre-colonial period, the written and oral literature. It is really awesome how Native people thought of having an interactive learning system for children considering the innocence they have in terms of civilization. One famous literary form in the old days is bugtong or riddle. For me, it is an effective way to inculcate the ability of logical thinking in a child, since its main target is to improve how a child observes his surroundings and to make his mind work to find the right answer. The use of the metaphor as the heart of the riddle makes it very poetic. And if any child at present isn't even familiar of any Filipino riddle, he should definitely call himself an alien. For real, it is a must. The rest of the gun like Salawikain or Proverbs, Tanaga, and the epic were the interesting written literature in the historic time. And about the oral literature, I find it very amusing in a way that they chant ambahan, songs about nature or childhood, even while joking, drinking, and many other random chores. All that will be best assumed that they really do enjoy the literary they have. But are you wondering how ancient Filipinos write before? I actually found out that one of the pre-colonial writing systems utilized by the first Filipinos was called baybayin. I bet you're familiar with the term. The Tagalog term baybay, which means to spell, is the source of the expression baybayin. When the Spaniards arrived in the Philippine archipelago, they observed that most of the natives could read and write. The script was used not only to record but also to write poetry, incantations, and letters. The Spanish friars studied baybayin and used it to teach the Catholic religion to Filipinos. In fact, part of the Doctrina Christiana, one of the first books printed in the country, contains baybayin script along with Latinized Tagalog. Let's proceed to the Spanish colonial period. In the 16th century was the start of the deprivation of the indigenous Philippine literature. Spanish colonial government finally got in the scene. They were able to manipulate literature by monopolizing it under the religious orders. Literature evolves mainly on the themes of Spanish European culture and, of course, the Roman Catholic religion. As a proof of the influence of the Spanish colonization, the first book ever printed in the Philippines is the Doctrina Christiana in 1593 by the Dominican Press. I've always known that the terms passion and cenaculo go hand in hand, and so I was kinda relieved when I read that passion was derived from the drama cenaculo. However, the once obedient Filipino writers and Spanish became conscious for the search for freedom. That's how the story always goes anyway. The modern Passion already discussed the themes of protest and liberation. The epic poem became interested in the social topic. Filipino writers are often deviating from the standards of what the society dictates. Marcelo H. Del Pilar was one. In his passion dapat ipag-alam ng puso, his rebellious writing styles was identified. He wanted Filipinos to ban themselves from the convent and banish Pascual Pobletes patnubay sa binyagan. He even associated Filipinos' struggle for independence with Jesus' life. On the other hand, Jose Rizal's Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo made a very powerful contributions among the Filipinos in the introduction of rejecting Spanish rule. He also influenced the succeeding writers. The narrative poems Awit and Corridor talk about world of royals, warriors, and lovers, the basic concept in Florante at Laura. They were once oral literature but later were printed in novena-sized booklets. Francisco Baltazar's Florante at Laura embodied the concept of colonization and oppression, which gave voice to the revolutionary action towards freedom. Because of the Spanish colonization, it can be said that it gave way to the idea of opening the nationalistic nature of the Filipinos through literature under the Spaniards. For example, forced labor and the execution of Comborza priests. That is all I can share about the Philippine literature before the emergence of Philippine literature in English. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you have somehow learned something from me. Bye!